Let's continue here with section 2.6. What if we have find the equation of the tangent line to the graph of y is equal to x times the cosine of 3x at x is equal to pi. Alright, so if they're asking for, here's what I do whenever I'm like taking a test or whatever, okay? I'll underline key things, equation for the tangent line. So automatically what that makes me think of, okay, I need y minus f of x naught is equal to m tan times x minus x naught if I need the equation of the tangent line. Alright, so I'm going to need to fill in some stuff here, here, and here, right? Alright, let's think about our order pair. What's our order pair x naught, f of x naught? Well, x naught's a particular point they give us, which is pi. What is f of x naught? That's just my function f right here, or they're calling it y here, evaluated at pi. So what happens whenever I evaluate this at pi? I get 3 pi in here, right? So what's the cosine at 3 pi? Maybe let me write this one out, okay? Let's say I evaluate that at, tell you what, let's just call it this. Let's just call it f at x naught. F at x naught. That'll be like this x value, which is what, pi, times the cosine at 3 pi. All right, let's do the unit circle, okay? At 3 pi. That's 2 pi, right? Wouldn't this be 3 pi right here? Where am I at on that unit circle? I'm at the point -1 comma 0, right? So what's my cosine at 3 pi? -1. So this will be -1, this part. So what does that give me? A negative pi right there? So what's f at x naught? Negative pi, right? So far, I can fill in f of x naught, which is negative pi. Do not know m10 yet, but I know x naught, which is pi, right? So let's find m10. How do we find m10? Well, we take our derivative of a function. What's our derivative of this function right here? We'll have to use the what? Product rule first, right? Gotta say first, which is x, times the derivative of the second, derivative of cosine of 3x, first times derivative of second, plus the second piece, cosine of 3x, times the derivative of the first, times the derivative of the first, which was x, right? Move out the way so y'all can see. Let's bring this down. X times, this is an application of the chain rule right here. Derivative of the outside is what? Negative sign at the inside, at 3x, times the derivative of the inside, times the derivative of 3x. That was this part. Let's bring down plus cosine of 3x times the derivative of x is 1. Alright, so this will give me negative x sine of 3x times 3 plus cosine of 3x. And what does that give me? That gives me negative 3x sine of 3x plus cosine of 3x. Hey, I found my derivative. Found f prime of x. But what do we need? We need m10. So what is m10 going to be? That's going to be the same as f at x naught, which is what? I'm sorry, f prime of x naught. prime of x naught. So f prime, this function right here, evaluated at x naught. And what did we say x naught was? Pi. So I'm going to say this is negative 3 pi times the sine of 3 pi plus cosine of 3 pi. Well, let's simplify this. Negative 3 pi. What's the sine of 3 pi? Think about where you had to get on the unit circle. 2 and then 3 pi. I'm at the point negative 1 comma 0. So what's your sign there? 0. So this whole thing here turns into 0. Plus, what's the cosine of 3 pi? We just said a little while ago it was what? Negative 1? So if you clean this up, what does it give you? Oh, that gives you just negative 1, right? So what's M10 equal to? Negative 1. So M10 up here I'm going to call negative 1. Let's clean up this equation now. Well, y plus pi is equal to negative x plus pi. Then what happens if I subtract pi from both sides? I get y is negative x. Our next example. Let's see what that's going to look like. That reads something like, given that f prime of 3 is equal to 6, g of 2 is equal to 3, g prime of 2 is equal to 4, comma, find f composed with g prime of 2. Well, this one looks hard on the surface, but it's really not. Start out with this part. F composed with G prime of 2. Isn't that basically saying this? F of G of 2. And I want to take the derivative of that. Outside function, inside function, right? So the derivative is going to be derivative of the outside at the inside, at g of 2 comes down, times the derivative of the inside. Do y'all agree with that? Derivative of the outside at the inside times the derivative of the inside. So that's f prime. But what did they tell us g of 2 was? They told us that's what? 3. What did they tell us g prime of 2 was? G prime of 2 is what? 4. Now, what did they say f prime of 3 was? 6 times 4 was 6 times 4. 24. There we go. Alright, there's one more example left at the end. I'm going to let y'all look through that in the paperwork. I don't think it's too bad of an example. But if you do have questions, by all means, tune in to the office hours Zoom meeting or whatever. Oh, real quick, keep in mind, if you want to enter something like this, in Wiley, you're going to have to enter this, the cosine of 2x quantity cubed, okay? Good luck with the homework.